What up guys, it's Drama for Life here today and I'm back with another video. Now today's video we're going to be reviewing and discussing chapter 94 of the Dragon Ball Super manga. Now, before I get into that, I do want to give a big shout out to a new subscriber of mine by the name of Corey Milton for subscribing to his channel. I want to also give a thank you to all of you guys. Ever since I came back to making YouTube videos, I was gone for like a month, and since I came back, my subscriber count has gone up pretty decently. My viewership has gone up pretty well, and my watch hours also. So I want to say a big thank you to all of you guys for that. My last video, or my last big video that I had a big thought on, which was the remastered or redone version of the death battle of Goku vs. Superman, has reached over 800 views. It's close to the 900 mark territory. Hopefully it does hit like 1,000 pretty soon. That would be pretty amazing. So a big thank you to all you guys for that. I also want to say that I was planning on making 3 videos today, and I was planning to do something different with my scheduling. I have a new job I'm doing part-time at my college, and so I didn't have enough time, and usually I like to film my reaction videos or my videos where I'm reacting to stuff earlier on, because then the sunlight is out, so you have natural sunlight mixed in with my light ring, so it's two of the lighting there to make it better. But sadly right now it's cloudy and it's pretty late, so yeah, I can't really do it. Also, my audio recording, for some reason it's being annoying. It's not recording at all. It's saying something about an upgrade. It's done this before, but I've found a ways to fix it, so I'll try to fix it again. So for the 2 videos I was going to do reaction videos to, it was basically suggestions from a viewer of mine by the name of CJ. He told me to review both the Jabba and Goons videos on Orange Piccolo versus the Thing not being close, and Goku versus Superman not being close. And I was going to, but like I said, the timing is a little bit too late, so the lighting wouldn't have been good, and then also the fact that my audio recording is being annoying, so hopefully I can fix it by tomorrow. But I will be dropping out, obviously, this video that I was planning on to do anyway, and then also another video talking about Black Clover's new movie and what I thought about it, so stay tuned for that. But with that being said, let's get into this review. Now, there isn't really much to say about this chapter, if I'm being honest, because this chapter, like every chapter, obviously it's based off of the film, and it's gonna have a lot of same beats and storytelling from the movie. Yes, they're gonna change stuff here and there, and they have, but if I'm being honest, they haven't done enough for me to really stay engaged with the story, to really care about it. But they have at least tried with the other chapters that we had from here, where we had some differences. But in this one, when I read it, I didn't see really that much differences. The only difference I saw was at one point in the fight between Gohan and I think it was Gamma 1. They did something that wasn't shown in the movie, but besides that, everything else in this chapter was beat for beat the same thing that happened in the movie. So if you watch the movie, these parts from it starts from Piccolo and the other guy that he was working with in the Red Ribbon Army trying to kidnap Pan, to getting Gohan to come there to fight against the Gammas. So it's just from that time frame. And if you watch the movie, you pretty much didn't lose anything from not reading this. So if I'm being honest, it is a very disappointing chapter. The last chapter I did, I think it was on chapter 92. I didn't do 93 because of the whole, problem I had with my uploading. But even then, I wouldn't have made it. I didn't feel like it was too big of a deal, because if I'm being honest, that chapter didn't also have that much in it either. It was the same stuff we saw from the movie. The only difference that we saw was the training between Broly and Goku, and we got a little bit more explanation from the lore, which I thought that was great. But it's still not enough for us as fans to be like, yeah, this was necessary. We really, really needed, them to recover the movie all over again, just in manga format. We definitely needed that. It's not like, this is pointless. But this chapter was even worse than that, because this chapter had literally nothing. It starts off with, Piccolo and the other guy going to pick up Pan taking him out, Pan noticing, Piccolo from his key signature, which made sense. Then, them trying to take, Piccolo telling her, like, come on, just, come into here with me, and I need your help. And then having her cuff herself up, and then, them taking her in. And then, obviously, the whole using her as the bait to draw Gohan. Then them seeing Gohan there. Now, Gohan this part, I think he's really dumb. And I when I watched the movie, I stated in my movie review how stupid this was, and this is why I don't take the statements from this movie that serious, or the logic from this movie that serious, with the whole statement by like Vegeta saying Jiren wasn't stronger than us, he just knew how to control his power better than us, and the statements of the Gammas are so strong that they're equivalent to our dad, to like Goku and Vegeta, and I don't even think they could beat Cell Max. So they have some stupid statements and or parts in that movie that's also been crossed over to the manga, and this one also has, and it's the fact that when Piccolo and the other guy pulled up to Gohan didn't notice it was him. And Piccolo himself even states that even Pan was able to recognize me, but you weren't, which is just bad writing and doesn't make any logical sense, because Gohan does know how to sense energy, and we all know that in the Dragon Ball world, it's very hard to hide who you are. You can lower your presence, but if they see you, and even if you're wearing a mask or whatever, if they noticed your energy signature before, they can know who you are and where you're from. Like how Beerus knew, Goku Black had some connections to Zamasu, and then once when they met Zamasu, the powers connected. Even though this was the first time Goku met Zamasu, and Beerus barely remembered Zamasu, like he probably met him like at one little point, and he was able to distinctively remember based off his energy signature. So the fact that Gohan, who's supposed to be a seasoned veteran at this point, and who has been trained in sensing ki energy, especially at this point, should not be getting fooled like this. And I get it, the whole point is, oh, he hasn't been training, so he's gone down in power. But even then, even if he loses power, it doesn't make sense that he would be so unrefined and so dull to the point his skills, he can't even sense Piccolo. His own 3 to 4 year old daughter can sense Piccolo's energy, but he can't. And don't give me this whole, well, she was trained under Piccolo. You tell me this guy doesn't train for a couple of years, and somehow this guy out of nowhere, and it shouldn't be even that long since the end of the Tournament of Power to then. So you're saying for a couple of years that he hasn't trained. This guy does not even know how to sense energy correctly. The writing for Gohan is absolutely atrocious. Personally, I don't even like Gohan as a character, especially compared to other Dragon Ball fans. But even with me not liking him that much, I still respect him as a character, and I think if characters are written in a certain way, they need to be written consistently. You can't say he's a Saiyan with insane potential and be a hybrid and do all these crazy stuff like get beast form, but then also say, well, if he doesn't train for a bit, he becomes a complete little bitch. We had this happen in, Resurrection of F, where from the time of Resurrection of F and Battle of Gods, he had his mystic form from there to Resurrection of F, where he somehow not only lost his mystic form, lost Super Saiyan 2, barely even thought he could use Super Saiyan 1, and was barely that powerful. And it doesn't make sense because from Buu Saga to the Cell Saga, it was a much longer gap in time. He was way weaker from that time, yet he lost less power and was still able to use transformations that were on a lower level. So, yeah, the power scale when it comes to Gohan is atrocious, and they did it here once again with his own 3-year-old daughter being able to sense Piccolo's energy, but him not. It's just idiotic. Let's be honest. This is bad writing. So I didn't like that, but it was the same thing in the movie. Then he gets pissed. He goes over there. He meets, the Gammas. He starts fighting them. The only real change that I would say, because there were some cool shots. Obviously, he drops in. Then the other guy starts flying up in the air. Then he charges in at him. He throws a couple of shots. He gets choke slammed at one point. They're punching each other through stuff. You see some really cool, nice shots. But it was pretty much in the movie, too. The movie had some beautiful shots. And it's just redone in a manga format, which has less of an impact. And for me, personally, it does look nice. But it's like, if you're going to redo it, at least have some different shots. Do something more unique, Don't reuse the same shots and then tell us, like, whoa, isn't this amazing? It's like, what the hell's the point of doing this if you're just gonna redo what we saw in the movie? It's basically watching the fucking movie again but reading it and wasting like 2 weeks to a month time wait just for a story that we've already seen beat for beat. The only difference is at one point he jumps in, Gamma One kicks Gohan so hard in the chest he holds it, and then they break the ground and fall down. And there's like this little like castle area down there, or like a dungeon area like you would play in an RPG game. And there's a little bit of a fight scene there, which looked cool. I like the setting there, but there wasn't much besides that. It's kind of like, but different than the way they handle Battle of Gods from the movie to the anime. Because in the anime and movie, they did have different stuff, obviously, but in the movie, they had just different set locations compared to in the anime. They just changed up the locations mostly, but there was different enough to be like, well, it makes sense. But for this, they only gave us one new landscape, and the rest of it was all the same. Literally, if you read the manga yourself, you'll be like, are you kidding me? The rest of this shit was completely exactly the same. It's ridiculous. So yeah, it pretty much ends with him going mystic form and being ready for his second battle. This is even before Piccolo jumps in and fights Gamma 2 himself. Yeah, if I'm being honest, I don't like this. I've stated it before. I know it gets annoying, sorry, but like, I just have to get my frustration out. We as fans do not want this. We're waiting for like 2 weeks to a month, wasting our time for these shitty chapters of a movie we've seen, doing nothing different, and the differences aren't even enough to be like, well, this is still worth it. It is just a waste of time. It's basically recapping the movie, and I'm pretty sure us as fans as a whole, we agree that this is just pointless. Like, come on, we had the Granola arc, which was fun and interesting and new, and I know it had some problems, but as a whole I think it was still a pretty decent arc, especially compared to what we've seen from Dragon Ball Super. But then we had the whole Black Frieza reveal, which I didn't like, but if you're gonna do that, at least go right into it so we can see what is happening, what is the purpose. But right now we just have this shit, and if I'm being honest, it's annoying. Now, there's a couple of things I do want to talk about because there wasn't really much in this manga. But before I get into that, I do want to also talk about a little interesting thing. It has been announced that Dragon Ball is going to be in the San Diego, I think, Comic-Con. I don't know when that is. I can search it up later. But they're going to be having a panel there. Now, what are they going to be talking about in the panel? Some people might assume that, it's probably the anime comeback. I don't really think so. As much as I want it to come back, even though I dog on Dragon Ball Super all the time, I would still love to see the series come back. For one, as a Dragon Ball fan, it doesn't matter. I still want content. If they're gonna bring out shit anyway, you might as well watch the shit. And two, it's content. I'm a YouTuber. I'm a Dragon Ball YouTuber. I want more content, and the content for Dragon Ball has been kind of dry, sadly, at this point. I would just want more new stuff because this is not doing it for me or anybody. Especially if you're like a Dragon Ball junkie, you need to get a fix of like the new Dragon Ball shit. This is not helping. This is literally making it worse. It's literally like going cold turkey. And you're fucking shaking and shivering, wanting to fucking sip some lean or fucking put heroin in your system. But the Comic-Con's coming, so what do I personally think is going to happen in it? Here's the way it can go. Hopefully there's some stuff or substance in it. They might drop out a couple of things. Mainly I think they're going to focus on the manga, maybe also the web series that they said they're going to have out, a digital web series, and I think they're going to talk about the game. So let's talk about some of the stuff. One, I think the main thing they're going to mainly focus on is Budokai Tenkaichi 4, the game dropping out, because that was a really big announcement. That is a big thing for Dragon Ball in general. It's something that people have been waiting for since 2007, so it's been, well past time for us to get it. And when the trailer dropped out, people were hyping it up. They've been even saying it's going to be the best fighting game of the year when it comes out, because around this time already Street Fighter 6 came out, Mortal Kombat 1 is about to come out. Tekken, I think 8 is coming out soon, and that game's coming out, and people are still putting that above those, and those are some big long-running fighting game franchises. So personally, what I think they're going to do is, since they had a teaser trailer, I think in San Diego they're going to drop out a full-length trailer, so we're going to get to see more about the game, probably some gameplay footage, probably some maybe some details about what's going to happen, like who are the characters in the game, the map locations, a little bit of the design of it, maybe more of a solid timing on when it's gonna come out, because I think they just said summer or something like that, or fall or some shit. I don't really remember. So we might get like an announcement for a date, a full on trailer, get a little bit more of a story synopsis, or like understanding on what the game's gonna be about. Which I'm pretty hyped for that. I think that's pretty fun and cool. So that's a plus. And I also think they might talk about this manga. They might be, because they do this sometimes where they talk about events that are happening in the future, even while there's a one happening right now. And this is a waste of time. I hate it. But hopefully in that Comic-Con they do mention that, hey, this is some stuff that's going to be happening in the Black Frieza arc. I know you guys are waiting for this and want to see how this story pans out and what is Frieza's plan. They're probably going to be obviously very ambiguous about it. Like, oh, what is it about? What is it about? And it's just going to be us as fans, speculating. But hopefully they do some stuff with the manga. Please don't be about this. I do not want to hear no more. Because sometimes Dragon Ball talks about the most pointless ass shit. They're like, we have a big announcement. And we're all just like, what is it? What is it? Is it something cool? And they're like, we have a Blu-ray box set. I don't give a fuck. You guys drop out this shitty Blu-ray box sets every fucking year. We don't give a shit. I don't give a shit about no Goku figurine. I don't give a fuck about no Blu-ray box set. I don't care about remastered the fucking story over again, bitch. Give me some new shit. Us Dragon Ball fans are sick and tired of getting the same old bullshit. I get it back then when, Dragon Ball Super didn't come in place and before, Battle of Gods. It was fine because us as Dragon Ball fans were like, okay, the series is just like, been done. They're not going to bring it back. It's been done for quite a while. Then it was fine because we weren't expecting anything. But now it is back. We should expect new stuff. I'm not gonna be stuck on the old shit. It's not like the old days where we weren't, the franchise. We didn't know if we were gonna get any new things. We know we are, but they just keep on being stuck on the same old shit. Like fucking superhero came out like, I don't know, a year ago at this point, or maybe 2 years ago. Like, bro, get the fuck over it. No, it's a year ago, actually. Around a year ago. But get the fuck over it, man. Move the fuck on. So, if they are gonna drop out some manga news, please drop it about that. Don't say anything about this. I don't give a shit about Beast Gohan. I don't give a shit about Orange Piccolo. I don't give a shit about Cell Max. I don't give a shit about the story anymore. Just move on forward, please. So, I have a feeling the only things they're gonna talk about is the gameplay of the game, which is gonna be pretty cool. Maybe a bit about the manga, hopefully about Black Frieza arc, and most likely something about the web series, but I wouldn't hold my breath for anything about the actual series. For me personally, I think maybe 2 to 3 years in the future. I'm not saying 100%, but this is my guess. Maybe 2 to 3 years in the future is when they're going to be dropping out the anime. Hopefully, at least within that time. But this chapter was trash. The next chapter is not going to be any better. And for me personally, I think at this point, us as the audience, especially me, it's more of a waiting game on, not a waiting game, but like a guessing game on how much they're going to progress the story. Because they're going a little bit slow. It's going to take, at this point, 2, maybe 3 extra chapters, which is another 2 to 3 months. I'm going to be dead by then. I'm sorry. I'm going to literally be like fucking, I'm going to be on a noose at that point. I'm like, what the fuck are you guys doing to me? But yeah, we had this, so we just literally got him to his mystic form. So we have to get through him fighting in his mystic form, then Piccolo fighting in his form, and then transform into Orange Piccolo, and then, bodying Gamma 2. Then we have to have them, winning, and then, them realizing that they're not the villains. Then we have to have the whole thing with Magenta setting up Cell Max out, and then them fighting Cell Max, having the other guys come in, having the little battle, and then having them take him out. Whatever. That's going to take probably 2 to 3 chapters, like I said, maybe 2 to 3 months, which is gonna be shit. I hate that idea, if I'm being honest. So we're gonna have that, we're gonna have that problem with the whole stuff after that. But one thing I'm really dreading is, and I know you guys might feel the same way, they might take 2 to 3 chapters for that, which would, like I said, take 2 to 3 months. But hopefully they don't do like a hiatus after that, because from the Granola arc, we took like a couple months from that to the manga coming back, and then we had the Trunks and Goten stuff, which I was fine with because I got to see more like older Goten and Trunks, and it wasn't even that long, and it had some new stuff. Then they announced this, and I was just like, oh fuck, come on, like you guys took months, and then you gave us something that I was okay with, but I felt like we could have had something new. Then we're giving this, and we're gonna wait even longer. And if I swear to God, if they literally put a hiatus or a break right after this, I'm gonna buy some fucking tickets. I'm gonna fly over to Toei Animation, Shueisha, whatever company that is fucking doing this shit, and I'm gonna slap the fuck out of them all. I'm gonna get, Toriyama. I'm gonna get tweezers. I'm gonna twist his fucking nuts. I'm gonna twist his nuts into a knot. Like, what are you doing? You son of a bitches. You literally, you ruined the Granola arc. Okay, I let that go. Then you gave us months we had to wait. Okay, I let that go. Then you gave us the Goten and Trunks story, which most of us didn't care. Okay, I let that go. Now you're giving me this. I don't want it, but okay. If you give me a fucking, a pause or a break on it afterwards, I'm literally beating up every fucking Japanese person in Japan. I don't give a shit if they are not Toriyama or anything. I'm fucking bopping every fucking Japanese person just to let out my rage against what is happening. It's so annoying because other manga fans, they're getting what they want from their series. Us as Dragon Ball fans, we're literally starving. We're eating the bones of the fucking, it's like the animal, it's been like, the carcass has been completely like ate, everything's been ate, and all that's left is the fucking bone, and we're literally sucking out the bone marrow and using this as our nutrition because we're not getting anything new and we're just starving at this point and dying just to eat, something that we've already got finished. It's just I'm just sick and tired of it. So if they do that, like I said, I'm literally saving up money. I'm buying tickets to go to Japan. I'm going to the, anime studios, wherever it is. I'm beating the shit out of them all. I'm gonna body slam Toriyama, and then I'm gonna Spartus kick him off of, the Toei company's top building because this shit is ridiculous. We cannot wait any longer. Because the Black Frieza arc, let's be honest, is going to take some time for them to get through that story. I feel like it would have been better if they just brought the anime out, because then we wouldn't have cared so much of the mangas and like this, because then we would just watch the anime. But I don't see that happening for the anime. And even if the argument is, well, the anime is not coming out because they want to get the manga ahead. Okay, that's fine. You want to get the manga ahead, even though they don't really have to connect because it's not like how it used to be, and they're different continuities. Okay, that's fine. But if you're going to do that, take the time to do new stories. Why are you're wasting your time doing this? We could have got the Goku Black, not Goku Black, sorry, I keep on saying all the time. Black Frieza arc done. We could have had the fucking Black Frieza arc done and gone to other stuff. And you could have had like multiple arcs already done before the anime comes out, so that, the manga would have been ahead a lot. But you're wasting your time doing this, so that doesn't really make any sense, so yeah. So that's pretty much it for this video. Sorry for, ranting and rambling on. I was just so annoyed, and I just, had to talk about the thing. I know you guys are annoyed too with what's happening. And if any of you guys want to go on a flight with me to Japan to beat the shit out of everybody in Toei Animation and, do a handicap match against, Toriyama, just basically stomping him out hood style, let me know, because I'm sick and tired of this shit too. Trust me, guys. As a Dragon Ball, YouTuber, I try to make these videos like have enough, energy in it and stuff, and try to make it interesting for you guys, because I want you guys to also be engaged. But it's hard for me to have any form of positive energy when we're getting shit like this, and it just annoys me. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed my video, and stay tuned for next time.